Hey everybody, thanks for joining SpringPath, the podcast. We have a great show lined up, lots to talk about, so let's get after it. Hey everyone, thanks for joining us for this episode of SpringPath, the podcast. Today we're going to learn about Marywood University, and our special guest is Nicollette Bordo. Hi Nicollette, how's it going?
Hello, how are you doing today?
Good. I'm glad to have you on the show. You and I have
Yes.
caught up offline a few times, and I'm looking forward to having people learn more about Marywood because you have some unique attributes in the way you approach college and community, which I like.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Yeah, this is going to be great. So let's start with you because I'd like you to let people know that you're a real person. So how does someone who's get to be in admissions, because I know a little bit about you and how you like to help people, but also have this second persona of CrossFit, like a power lifter?
Yes. So back in my college days when I was in my bachelor's degree, I ended up being on student government board. So I kind of was the liaison of exploratory students. So I helped a lot of students who were undeclared while I was even a student myself. So kind of that persona of just helping students along the way while still even figuring out my own career path. So I found an interest in that, and then I really wanted that to continue on into maybe a profession. So now finding out that there is an admissions counselor, and it is a great thing, and it's awesome to see that that is a profession. So leading into that, I also so I found that career, and in amongst all of that, I'm very much into CrossFit. I've been doing CrossFit for probably over 10 years now. So I've recently became certified as a CrossFit L1 coach last year. So I'm like about 5'1", and I'm pretty petite, but I can lift a lot of weight. So it's really funny to see. But
yeah, and it's not an easy accomplishment. I used to compete in CrossFit it was a long time ago, but yeah, that's there's dedication to it, but I think what shines through with you and just what I know about you and when we've talked is just you really love coaching people, you love helping people, and these two things kind of coincide together.
Yes, for sure. They really do. They build off one another 100%.
Yeah. All right. So let's get into Marywood. I mean, there's some uniqueness about this, in and around family friendly, the community. So I'll let you I'll open it up to you to talk about it, and then we'll touch on some of the things that are very unique with your programs.
Yeah, so Marywood University is located in Scranton, Pennsylvania. So we have around 2,000 undergrad students and around 1,000 grad students. So we have smaller class size. Students would know their professors and their peers very well. I would say our student to faculty ratio is about 11-1. And the really nice thing about Marywood itself is how you mentioned that we're very family friendly oriented, community based type of school. We are considered a day one school, so we really do try to give students that from day one experience by getting them a core class or observation in their program right from the start. So we're very big on that, and we want students to succeed early on and learn more about their program right from when they enroll. So we're very passionate about that part of it.
So Nicollette, talk to me about the location and the campus lifestyle, because you're close to a couple major cities, or you're not too far away.
Yeah. So Marywood's located in Scranton, Pennsylvania, but we're on the outskirts of the city of Scranton. So we're about 5 minutes or so from the city. But the nice thing is you kind of have the best of both worlds with having your campus of more of the residential side of campus, and then driving 5 minutes down the street to Scranton, to the city of Scranton. The other nice thing too is that we're very close by to Philadelphia and New York. So about Philly, I would say, is probably a 2-hour drive. New York could be around 2.5, 3, depending. But a lot of opportunities in the area that we're close by major cities that
Sure.
students can definitely take advantage of.
Yeah, so it sounds like you kind of have this kind of rural setting, greenery, and then you're right next to Scranton, which is cool. But then if you wanted to, you can road trip with your friends and head out to the city, which is fun.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and so talk to me a little bit about the campus, because you kind of have this mixture of old and new, right, for architecture?
Yeah, so our campus is very much a mixture of we have brick buildings, things like that, but then we also have like our rotunda which is very much probably one of our oldest buildings that we have, with the dome and things like that, where our admissions office is located. But then we have that modern side of different buildings and architecture too, where we are renovating different buildings to make it more modern as well. So it's nice to see we have that mixture of old and new, like you said. And we're always continuing to keep Marywood and that uniqueness of Marywood, but also modernizing it as well.
Yeah. And I know, so when it comes to, the school itself, the campus lifestyle, we're going to get into it in a minute about the whole component to this, where you have the school and the community. But let's talk about, all right, I'm a new student. I love what I hear. I want to go experience this campus, this lifestyle. And how does orientation start? Like, how do you get them in and get them set up? Because you have a couple of, programs that we talked about before.
Yeah. So orientation is really big for us. Typically held in July, for all the incoming students. It's really nice because we have this past July, we had a 2-day orientation where it's all set up by program for the students. They get to stay overnight and then experience orientation for the day. But the nice thing about that is that even though they're on campus with their program of interest, they do get to live with someone on campus overnight that maybe is not part of their major, or they don't know. So they get to experience somebody new and meet new people. And then when they stay over into the orientation day, we do have orientation programs for students as well as parents. So it's really nice to see that we have those two separate programs, for students to learn more about their university that they're coming into. But the parents too are very important. So if they choose to want to experience different opportunities at Marywood too, we have a whole set program for them as well.
No, I think every school should do this, right? Because you're gonna have parents with the separation anxiety, and and you gotta prep the parents as well. You gotta say, hey, you
Yeah.
gotta give them a little tough love. They may call home, but keep them here.
Yes. Yeah. So that's definitely, we're here for both parents and the students. So for sure.
Yes, yeah. So that's good. And all right, so let's kind of segue into the whole concept of quote unquote serve, because your campus, your approach as an organization and a university is just, it's different than others that I have seen. So help the listeners and viewers understand, where does this start, and how do you connect with the community?
Yeah, so one of our core values is service, and we're very much into that core value, and most of our students are serving and practicing that. So within their program, just to name a few, our speech language pathology program, which is our communication sciences and disorders program, they actually get to utilize a clinic on campus for the community. So they will be a student utilizing the clinic, but it's real people in the community that are coming for the services. Same thing with our psychology program. We have a clinic on campus as well for the community. We do have a nursing home on campus that students maybe in the nursing department can utilize for learning more about their program. And then we even have a preschool on campus as well. So for our education students, if they're looking to observe earlier on prior to their student teaching, we also offer that too. So there's a lot of service and community based, and we're more than a university in a sense that we really connect with our community.
Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting twist, because you usually hear about, and I know you have career services and you help with internships, but this is unique because your students are literally, they're working with people in the community. They're teaching their kids. They're taking care of their parents in the nursing home. Like that's very unique to the campus.
Yeah, it's really nice because I mentioned before, we're day one, we're really hands-on. We want students to get that experience early on, so they're aware of what they're going for, what their career is going to be, and it's just great to have those opportunities right from the start.
So Nicollette, talk a little bit about the programs that you offer, because you have some kind of cool ones that they might not know exist at Marywood.
Yeah. Yeah, so we have a lot of different programs. We are a liberal arts school, but we have, I would say architecture is a really popular program on campus. We have our PA program, that's a bachelor's to master's program. nursing, like I was mentioning before. And then we also have aviation management, which is you can do actually two different tracks. You can do the piloting track where you can become a pilot, or if you wanted to be on the grounds, you can do the management side. And the really nice thing about either or is the student comes out with a bachelor's in business. So not only are they able to fly planes, they will have a bachelor's of a business degree too.
That's pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah, really cool.
Something to fall back on if the flight thing doesn't work. I don't know.
Yeah. Seriously though. Yeah.
So with that, so I know you talk about, so you have some unique programs, but you talk about day one, and really, when you and I have talked offline, it's really about entering into career services, and really your students they're getting into their careers pretty quickly or getting hands-on experience, but then you also have career services and how they help set them up with internships. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, so not only will students get very much a lot of information within their program, we have a career development center on campus that is fantastic. They help with internships, resume building, cover letter assistance, job opportunities after graduation. And they do this through, we partner with an application called Handshake. So we utilize this app that really all students could download on their phone, and they can use it as a current student and even as an alumni. So if they're looking for internship opportunities, if they're looking to connect with the student in a different school with their same major, they can do that. They can look for career job fairs. They can do, and then after, even as alumni, they're looking still for a job, they can go back on the app and do that as well. So there's a lot of opportunities on there. And they also, on Handshake, they provide very legitimate employers. So there's a vet process where they will go through employers and making sure that we're giving the students appropriate opportunities.
Sure.
So we're not just putting any job on there, which is also really helpful for them too if they're looking for something specific.
Yeah. So it's like a vetting process on both sides, so you know what you're getting. Yeah.
Exactly.
That's really good. Yeah. So let me ask you this: where is career services located on the campus versus the dorm or the residentials? Because there's one unique element to this campus, which is free parking.
Yes. So thankfully, the career services or career development department is in the library, and the dorm is actually located right behind the library. I would say not even like a 2-minute walk.
Oh, okay.
But the nice thing is you do get to park your car on campus for free, even as a freshman. So if you did want to drive anywhere on campus, and if you're coming from a long distance and you're able to bring your car, you can, and there's no cost. So that's a huge thing for students, because we know
it's a huge perk. Yes.
Yes, it's a huge perk. So
yeah,
something really cool.
And then the other one I'll share, just because I know I took some notes down when we were talking, is, and this is probably for the parents, but you did mention free laundry. Is that?
Yeah.
That's part of it as well, right?
Yes. So students get free laundry on every floor. You don't have to. You don't need quarters or anything.
So we have to make sure we let all the parents know, so that kids don't come home with those sacks like I used to and just give it to my mom for the weekend.
Exactly.
All right, that's great. So Nicollette, I appreciate it. This has been very informative. I really like how you covered everything, and you gave us a lot to think about. So if someone had some questions or wanted to learn more, where would they start? Would they check out your website?
Yep. So they can go to marywood.edu, and they can definitely check out our website on there. They could also contact Marywood's admissions office at yourfuture at marywood.edu. And then you can also give us a call too at 570-348-6234.
Awesome. All right, great. Nicollette, thank you for being on the show. And for all the listeners, please check out springpath.net as well and see if Marywood University is a match for you. Thank you, Nicollette.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.